Well, good morning, everybody. It's early in the morning, about before 7. I want to give you a early morning garden update. I'm watering the garden right now, and so let's see what everything's doing. The start out here, the tubs, they're doing real good. The garlic we planted, it's really doing good. I just took 2 garlic and split all the cloves apart and stuck them in the dirt and watered them, and they're going crazy. And that's the parsley that we cut all of it and dehydrated it, and it's growing back. And the strawberries are putting out runners like mad. Now you remember this is their first year, so we didn't let them have any strawberries. So they'll be big next year. But boy, they are putting out some runners. We're gonna have to take some runners and transplant them, move them. They're doing real good. And then Kara mowed the yard for us yesterday. We was working on a tractor at the farm, and she did an absolutely great job. She took a load off. It was only 111 heat index yesterday, and she was out here mowing, and we were out working in the sun on the tractor, so we're both sunburned. This is the sweet potatoes, and as you can tell, I'll try to get over here where you can see. This is the water system. It's working, so I'll try to let you look at it. I hope you can see it all right. It runs down through there, and then all these little pipes come off. They've got valves on them. But that's the sweet potatoes. They're really kicking in now. They were pretty slow to start, but they're doing real well. They're doing real good. And the cantaloupes, they're not doing much. There's just a few cantaloupes that are starting. You can see this is a wonderful weed, but everybody has weeds. But there's a cantaloupe. They're trying to come on. There's a few down there. And then this row, which looks like all weeds, is watermelon. And there, we planted those. They're just starting. And the corn, there's 2 rows of corn, and you can always tell where everything gets too wet. Our garden should be running from the right side of the picture to the left, but right now it's running from the left side of the picture to the right. So all of these ends down here, you can see they don't do too good. They get too wet. And 2 rows of corn, and this is all the Roma tomatoes here. And today, probably where these stakes are, I have a little system where I have a box of tomato string, and I've got a T-post at both ends, and I will tie this. I'll try to, after I do this, the next deal I'll show you, tie to this T-post, and then you put the string down close to the ground and come to one of these stakes, pull the string and go around it, and then go to the next one, and you go all the way down one side, and then you turn around down there on that T-post and you come back down this side, and you slowly, as the plants grow up, you just weave a deal on the outside of them to hold them up. And then we have tomato. I like doing this, by the way. That's why we didn't have the rest of the tomato cages. And the tomatoes are all caged down through here. These are a lot of slicers and stuff, but I was going to show you right down in there. It's tomatoes. There's 3 little tomatoes, and there's blooms all over the tops of them. So they're really doing good. They're coming on. Some of these are they're over 3 foot tall now. And then over here is, this row didn't do a lot. We planted Crowder peas in this row right here, and they're trying to come up, but they had a hard time. And then the next row is green beans, and if you can see all of the blooms on the green beans, I hope to be canning green beans for too long. And there's little green beans in there. They are really making good. And then the next row is beets. And down at the end of that row is pepper plants. And the beets come down through here, and the onions are here, and they are really doing good. You can see how big the onions are getting down there. They're doing good. We have white onions, and we also have some purple onions in here, and they're doing good too. But if you can see the water system right here, you can see the little pools where it's dark. That's the water. And this line has a little emitter, and it's every 12 inches. And so as I turn this on, and it just runs down through here, so it waters the whole garden at one time. And makes it a lot easier, and you use a lot less water, especially under these. Under these rows, these are the plastic rows I put down with my machine, and the water under there stays. This over here dries out. We have to do this more regular, because the sun beats on this and dries it out. But once the water gets under this, it stays under it. It doesn't dry out. But I was going to show you, because down here, this is cucumbers in this row right here, and they're blooming. There's lots of blooms on them. But down here is some squash, and I'll try to show you. I saw some. This is not squash. This is excuse me. This is all crookneck squash in here, and some of them. I saw some trying to start. No, excuse me. Let me get this back. This is zucchini. That's cucumber. This is zucchini here. Right there is zucchini. Right there. And it'll be a foot long in 2 days probably. Here's some more down here. These are all these zucchinis right there. The bloom starts, and then it starts growing it right behind it. And that's crookneck squash over here. This is our squash here, and I'll show you. There's some starting down here. We got the squash plants coming on. They're doing good. They're really blooming down here. And there's one I see right there. This is your little crookneck squash. It does the same as zucchini, just a little bloom, and then there it starts. And it won't be long till it'll be bigger. That one might be a, let's see if I can find it right. Hang on. Right there. And there's 3 of them all together right there. 4 of them actually. They'll make a ton of squash. And then this is the okra. We planted it, and they're about all coming up. That's what okra looks like starting. Now when this is done, by the end of the summer, this will be probably about 10 foot tall. I'll have to grab the top of the stalk and pull it over to be able to harvest the okra. So you'll see by the end of the summer, these things will be, probably 3 inches across at the base. They'll get so big. I just wanted to give you an early morning before it gets to be so brutally hot out here. But we turn all the water on, and these are all water, and the whole garden is watering at one time now. So that's what makes it nice. I can leave it on for an hour or so. You see the cucumbers down through there. They'll crawl everywhere. And that's all the onion row. And the green beans again, and they're really, I looked down here this morning, and there's little green beans all over those already coming out. So in a couple weeks, we'll be canning green beans. And the crowders, everything's better if you can just look at the garden, if you can just see, it's just better on this end. So hopefully, out in the pasture, I got a huge pile, you can't see it, right up there in the pasture is a big pile of compost from the hay, and cows eat where they ate their hay. And I'll let that cook down, and next year I'm going to put it all on the this lower part of the garden. I'll lift it up. And the tomatoes, they look good. So you can see what we did is I put the cages down through there, and then every so often I drove a T-post. But instead, so I didn't have to drive T-post all the way by every cage, I took PVC pipe and tied it to the top of those T-posts, and then every cage, the top of every cage is tied right there, right here. It's tied to the PVC pipe. That holds them up because these things are going to be heavy when they're all standing up. So when they all get grown, and then I'll have these tied up here down this row. And the corn and everything's doing good, so I just wanted to give everybody a quick update, and we'll see you again.